Hello again, folks. This is Barry with Barry's 8-track and classic car radio repair, and this demonstration is going to be on a Learjet A-250 AM/FM 8-track player, on which a modern conversion has been done. And the first thing I should probably mention on the Learjet, this is a very special case here. The Learjet A250 is originally a signal-seeking radio, meaning that you press the button called program, and the dial automatically moves across and locks onto the next station. If we're going to do a conversion on that, unfortunately, you're going to lose that signal-seeking function. There just isn't room inside the unit to get everything in there. The signal-seeking tuner takes up all the way from front to back on the right side, and in order to do a conversion, we have to rip out the original circuitry, and it's just not feasible to try to keep that signal-seeking function. So what I do instead is I remove the mechanical linkage that goes to the signal-seeking function to make it easier to tune, because that mechanical linkage makes it a little bit harder to tune. So it's possible that you might find somebody out there that, number one, works on 8-track players, number two, works on signal-seeking radios, and number three, is willing to do the research required to figure out how to make everything work and get it all inside the unit, but I really doubt it. But at any rate, this is the extent of my service on the Learjet A250, is you will unfortunately lose the signal-seeking function if we're going to do a conversion on it. And the conversion is going to add a lot more output power. It's going to dramatically enhance your AM and FM reception. So in the end, I think it's a more worthwhile thing to go ahead and have it converted, especially since if there's a problem in the tuning circuits, I'm just not going to waste troubleshooting time trying to troubleshoot a unit for which you probably are not going to find the necessary parts anyway. So this is the happy medium that we've reached, is we can make the whole radio work really nicely, and we just lose the automatic signal seeking function. So let's go ahead and turn this puppy on, and I've got it set to FM at the moment.
Came to Los Angeles in the mid-1960s.
And another little faux pas on my part is, since I do not allow customers to send their knobs with the unit, and the reason I don't allow customers to send their knobs is, in the past it's been the thing of like, hey, where's my knobs? Well, you didn't have them with the radio. Well, yeah, I did. So it just got to the point where I said, okay, you're no longer allowed to send your knobs. I'm not responsible for them. So because I don't have the knobs to the radio, the outer shafts on these controls are recessed, and I can't get to them with my fingers, and I don't have knobs that will fit these radios. So that's kind of a little bit of a faux pas on my part, but at least I'm still protected. But there will be one function that we can't demonstrate, and that's the virtual front rear fader that's actually part of the tone control here, which we can't really get to very well. So at any rate, let's go ahead and turn the volume up a little bit, and we're going to at least work the balance control, and I'll let you see all 4 speakers operating as a little bit of a consolation prize here. So there's our 4 speakers operating, and I can just barely get to the balance control. We can take it all the way to the left and all the way to the right.
So, first of all, that's very kind of you.
Okay, so we know the balance control is working. As far as the virtual front rear fader, you're just going to have to take my word for it. It does work. I tested it when I had the front panel off and could get to the control. So let's go back to the unit, if I can find that. There's our unit. Okay, and we do have the multiplex indicator still working. We tune in a strong FM station, and we're just going to go all the way across the FM dial and see how many stations we can get in.
That must gut you to see.
And incidentally, with the signal-seeking function on the original radio, I picked up all of 8 FM stations in this area. So this will demonstrate how many more stations we can pick up after conversion. So this is the first one.
Studio has responsibility.
You didn't get any votes the first. He said, I'm so.
Okay, so that's 8 stations already, and we're not even halfway across the dial.
Wanting to potentially get it.
Free appointment to see if. Comment about its future?
Like us on Facebook or
Important to open up to you.
Okay, so if you're willing to give up the signal-seeking function on this radio, you get about 20 more stations on the FM band. So I think that's a pretty fair trade-off. Let's go ahead and switch it to AM, and we don't get much naturally in AM around here, but we should get one or two.
Be dangerous and they can get scared of the lightning.
That might have been my brother on the AM station. Let's go back here.
I think one of the biggest mistakes they underestimate is the size and the power of the horse.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's my brother.
So sweet and so wonderful.
My brother runs a talk show on KQNA, 11:30.
Heels, you never know what they're going to do, or a dust devil blows through with a big white plastic bag in it. You never know what they're going to do, and I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I see, and people that get hurt the most as new horse owner is they just don't respect their size and their power that they can have.
One of the people that we know in
that's my brother
who suffered a terrible injury and who was a very, very experienced horsewoman is Dusty Spittler.
You might detect some similarity between my voice and his. Okay, let's go back to FM here. Okay, and now for the piece de resistance, or whatever they call that. I'm always bragging about how much better I can make the A-track sound after I work on it. So let's go ahead and pop in some Temptations and just see if the kid knows what he's talking about. Nice, bright, clear sounding 8-track. Look at that, boy. Okay, we're at the end of a song here. And this is our program selector switch, so we'll switch tracks a few times. Okay, looks like we're probably going to be switching tracks pretty soon since there's silence on all the tracks. Okay, it just switched by itself. Okay, now this 8-track has fast forward, but you're going to want to turn it down before you hit the fast forward because it does not mute the audio during fast forward, and that's what you get. Incidentally, I really don't recommend using fast forward because the evenness and packing around the hub is pretty important in an 8-track cartridge, and there's enough trouble these days with 8-tracks to begin with. You don't need to be varying the degree of packing around the cartridge, but the fast forward does work. Okay, now we're going to hit the eject button, and it gives us our tape out. Alrighty, so we've demonstrated the radio functions, the 8-track functions. Now we're going to go ahead and plug in the USB stick. This customer requested the USB and the Bluetooth. So let's go ahead and plug in our USB stick. This just has my little radio commercial on it. Make sure it works. Okay, there's my radio commercial. So it is now playing what's on the USB stick. You can see the stick flashing, indicating data transfer. Okay, unplug the stick, radio comes back, and the last thing to test is the Bluetooth, and as is always the case, I'm not going to go to all the time and trouble of pairing it with a device and running it through all its functions. That would take forever. I'm just going to activate it by the way that we activate the Bluetooth is we just get the volume control, 2 quick turns to the right. We should hear a female voice saying, ready to pair. So here we go.
Ready to pair.
Ready to pair. There's that sweet female voice. So it'll let the radio come back on, and it is now trying to pair with a Bluetooth device. And if I had a Bluetooth device handy, it would pair with it and start working with it. But we're just going to take my word for it since the lady said it's ready to pair. And we're going to take her word for it, too, that she's actually there and telling us it's ready to pair. So we're going to turn the unit off. All the functions have been pretty well tested, definitely enough to make sure that all the functions are working. So we're going to go back to my ugly face here and see if we can find me here. This is Barry with Barry's 8-track and classic car radio repair. Needless to say, if you have an 8-track in need of service either for home or for car use, you can reach me directly at 928-533-9666. And needless to say, I add FM to classic car AM radios and Bluetooth and USB and line inputs and all that other cool stuff. You can contact me for those reasons also. Thank you very much for watching and listening. My website is in the description below. Please visit my website. It's extremely informative and comprehensive. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.
having fun, driving my classic ride. Got a Mustang, buddy, it's a 69, but she ain't sounding so fine. Driving this car, I can't hear the guitar, and all my tapes run slow too. Radio smoking, 8-track deck's broken. What can I do? Send it to 8-track repair center. 8-track repair center. 8-track repair center.com.